Yo, what's good, fam? It's your man Jay. I'm coming at you again with another late night episode of Evolutionary Comics, and yeah, man. So it's finished my day. I've been going through titles class at work, and it's been a beast. Learning about titles, vehicle titles, and different things like that. Nevertheless, y'all don't hear about my day job. Y'all will hear about the comics. So basically, since I haven't made a video in a week or so, I just wanted to show you guys what I picked up from new comic book, free comic book day, which was a blast. Shout out to my girl Natalie. Shout out to my girl Kat. Shout out to Emerald City, where I partook of the free comic book day, and had some extra pickups as well. So I picked up a couple extra books, and I got some stuff in the mail, and I'm gonna mix all of that. Just show you guys what I picked up over the past week or so, and keep it going like that. We'll talk about a little something here too. So make sure that you hit me up in the comments. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video with your friends and everything like that. And if you're already a friend, thank you for hanging out with me for a minute, checking me out. I am going to do coming up. I'm gonna do a little room tour, and the reason why is because you won't see this in maybe another month or so. I think I'm going to be moving. Well, I'm not going to say I think. I'm going to be moving soon and to another living arrangement. Me and my family are going to find somewhere else. We need more space. And it's a pretty big apartment that we have now. And it's getting tight. So it's only three of us, but it's still getting tight. This, 1,200 square foot is just not enough. But anyway, so without further ado, let's get it. That's the quiet version. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna show you guys is I picked up an independent comic book. I ordered it a couple weeks ago. I think I got it sometime last week, but this I was pleasantly surprised. This is from Stranger Comics and Legion M, and this is Defiant, and it's the story of Robert Smalls, and it's written by, I think the guy's name is Robert Edwards, and the artwork is Nicholas Draper Ivy. So that's something that caught my eye. But this is a Stranger Comics book. Yeah, I guess that's the imprint that it's on. But I never heard of it. I just saw like some other people that had picked it up, and I wanted it for my collection. That FOMO, fear of missing out. But anyway, it's inspired by the true story of a real life, little known American hero, Robert Smalls, as an enslaved harbor pilot in Charleston, South Carolina. At the height of the American Civil War, Smalls pulled off the most audacious heist in history, a suicide mission if caught, by stealing a Confederate warship, disguising himself as a captain, filling it with his family and friends to run the naval blockade in the treacherous South Carolina waters, and defecting to the North. Afterwards, his example helped convince President Abraham Lincoln to accept the African American soldiers in the Union Army, and Smalls later served as a captain in the Union Navy of the ship he stole. Wow. So during Reconstruction, he was elected to the House of Representatives as one of the very first African Americans in Congress, and wrote legislation for the first free compulsory public school system in the U.S. Despite all of these incredible accomplishments, Robert Smalls is largely unknown today. And as big as I am, and as much as my father has taught me about our history in this country and everything, I never knew about this. This is the first time. And for those that, be like, comics are all, this and that, there's a lot of history because, there's people like Stranger Comics that are putting out good stuff and, some educational historical stuff. And they're putting it in comic form. So, yeah. So that's what this is. I'm super happy to have this. It is something, another piece to this massive collection that I'm amassing. And yeah, so that is Defiant, the story of Robert Smalls, again by Stranger Comics. And yeah, that's dope. All right, so what else do I got? These are some pickups from Free Comic Book Day, and I just learned that because Diamond, I guess Diamond has coined the phrase Free Comic Book Day. I guess they trademarked it or whatever. I'm not sure of the terminology that's exactly used for that, but there's Free Comic Book Day that you'll see with certain books, and there's also Comics Giveaway Day, and then you'll see this little symbol for that. So depending on where they're distributed from. So this is Avengers Armageddon. Don't know what's going on, but I see the Red Hulk is look like he's trying to chase Spider-Man down, and Wolverine and Iron Man trying to hold him back. Don't know what's going on with it, but it's Chip Zdarsky is the main name that I see on this. So we'll be checking this out. Yeah. And let's see what else. This was a really dope book that I wanted to check out. This one has the Free Comic Book Day on it, and this is Inanna, the name she lost, Inanna. So I don't know. I flipped open the inside, and actually we're gonna do that because we got time. We got a little bit of time. So anyway, it was created by Inanna Sarkis. The writers are Inanna Sarkis and Tim Seeley. Y'all heard Tim Seeley before. And yeah, so the artist is Admir Leal. And yeah, so this is the artwork on the inside. But it looked interesting. And I ain't gonna show y'all that scene. I don't know, but Inanna fine. And she ended up being washed up on a beach somewhere, and she ended up smacking around some of the people that found her on the beach because, they see a naked woman, they got their phones out. They need to be smacked up. What's wrong with the world today? All right, so on this skin thing, I also picked up Gun Honey Doubles Down. Just picked it up because, sexy lady on the cover. And I always see these, and when I worked at CGC, I used to grade the different various covers when this first came out. Never read the story, don't know too much about it, but it was free, so I picked it up. The Amazing Spider-Man. This is another comics giveaway joint, so if you check that out. And this one has the Queen in black. So if you guys remember a couple years ago back, 2018, 2019, when the King in Black came out, Null and everything. So now I guess there's a Queen. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I picked that up. Another Free Comic Book Day. This is The Nice House on the Lake. I heard this was just a reprinting, just retelling the story that James Tynion told in the first one. So this is book one. And the book that everybody was going crazy over, I was not able to get the absolute Batman variant. I forget, Natalie, she told me something about that. It was sold out. You had to order it from Vault or something like that. But I picked up this one, and this one has a little buzz, but this is Dungeon Crawler Carl. And didn't know too much about it, but the gist of it from Natalie. She told me that this guy, he's inside his house and something happens with his cat. He goes out in the street. Once he gets outside, the world goes flat. So if you're in a building, I guess you disappear or whatever. This portal opens up, and Carl and his cat, they end up going through the little portal into like an underworld. And he ends up learning about the underworld and all kind of crazy stuff. The cat begins to talk. The cat has like a little smart mouth and is guiding him, and he's a comedic presence. But yeah, so this book is going crazy. The absolute Batman variant of Dungeon Crawler Carl is going for like 150 to between 150 and one and almost 200 on eBay, which is like absolutely bananas. This one, it's a free comic book, but people are still paying 25 to 40 bucks for this particular book, and I guess that's why you were only able to pick up one. So it is what it is. I got one, and I'm gonna eventually read it. I think the trade is coming out in a couple of weeks, I believe Natalie told me. So I may check that out, because it sounded like an interesting story. But there's gonna be a show, there's gonna be a video, there's a whole bunch of stuff, many plans for this particular book, and that always makes me think: why do some books get all of this elaborate stuff going on when other books who have just as great stories are tend to be unknown? So that's the dilemma that I always face, and I'm super curious about that. But yeah, I picked that up. I picked up some extra books. Picked up this one. This is DC versus Vampires World War V, issue number 12. And I just picked this one up because it had that cool cover with Mr. Miracle on it. I think that's who that's supposed to be. Turning into a vampire. So I picked that up. And picked up Ultimate Farewell and this Black Panther cover. And I only picked this one up because I was trying to read all of the Ultimate stuff, but I kind of, fell off with it because I kind of lost interest in. I still have it, and I've still been buying it, but I'm going to eventually get around to read it. Some of it I put on my iPad, so I'll get to it when I get to it. I picked this one up strictly because, Black Panther's on the cover. That's how I get down. But speaking of Black Panther, I also picked up this Black Panther. I think this is volume 3. It's volume 3 or 4, number 18. But this is an iconic cover here. Yeah, so this is an iconic cover here. This is the Michael Turner variant cover. And it has a little value to it. I already have one. I think the one that I have is already in better, it's a better condition. But I picked this one up too, just to have an extra one because, like I said, I absolutely love this cover. This is one of my favorite covers. That has a Black Panther cover that doesn't feature Black Panther, doesn't have T'Challa on it. Of course, we got the Queen Storm, and she is looking ever so, yeah, on the cover. So had to get this one because it's iconic, dude. It's iconic, dude. What else did I pick up? And from regular comic book day, picked up Salmon Twitch 23. Don't know if you guys are reading this. Picked up Roots of Madness. This is the conclusion, I believe, with Stephanie Williams. This is number 6. I don't have number 5, so I can't read this one. So I got to go back and hopefully I'll pick up number 5 tomorrow. The Ultimate 23 variant condition edition condition with Loki on the cover. And Skin Breakers. This has been a really good story. It's growing on me even more and more. I'm trying to figure out what's going to end up happening with the old chieftain and see what's up with it. But this from Robert Kirkman with Leone and Wooten and David Finch. So this has been a really good book. It's been a good read for this entire series. I'm not sure how far this one is going, but this is number 8. Got to go back and read number 7. And then, of course, everybody knows that my favorite artist, my favorite cover artist is Sanford Green. So I had to go back and pick up this cover because I didn't get this one before. And I also ordered one that was supposed to be difficult to find. It's sold out now. So hopefully that'll be coming in the mail soon. But yeah, I picked this one up in the meantime, and I got another sound. I'm going to have a whole library full of just Sanford Green covers, and I couldn't be happier because that's my dude. Hopefully one day I will meet him. I don't know if I'm going to make it to Heroes Con. Some of my friends, they asked me, are you going to Heroes Con? And actually, I don't know because of the move. Had I not been pressed with having to move sometime in June, I would have definitely been there this year. I was building up to make sure that what happened last year didn't happen this year. The unfortunate thing is, what they say, man plans, God laughs, or whatever. So it's not in my cards to make it this year. Hopefully I'll make it to some other con this year. But I was really targeting Heroes Con and also Atlantic Comic Con in Virginia. Those were the two ones that I definitely was gonna make that were out and beyond. But I definitely will be at Brandon Fan Fair later this year. I'll be at that Comic Con because I can just drive to it. Don't have to worry about catching a plane, catching flights to get there, and worrying about expending extra money or whatever. But hopefully this move goes smooth. Hopefully something happens where we get transitioned to our next place kind of smooth. We got a little bit of time, before we have to be departed. Yeah, sometimes they remodeling. It's crazy. They're remodeling, doing the roof and doing all kind of crazy stuff. And I'm like, maybe they're just trying to make people not want to live here or whatever. But anyway, other than the small space and the remodeling and the people outside, this has been a nice place to stay. Anyway, I keep rambling, going off on a tangent. I might edit all that shit out. But the other thing I picked up is this. This was something that I picked up, purchased a while ago, and I'm super happy to finally get it in my possession. And this is from Slam Magazine, and there's an event that happened. Something happened earlier in the season before the playoffs kicked off. One of the reasons I'm also making this video at this time is because my Lakers just got their ass whooped by the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so before I go to bed, I wanted to at least accomplish something today with this. I went to movie night at Culture Creative, my little creative spot. And we saw Their Eyes Were Watching God, which was the book that we're reading this month. So yeah, my book club is reading Their Eyes Are Watching God, and we're going to have the book club meeting is tomorrow, and tonight we just watched the movie with Holly Berry and some other people in it. So this is always in here pretty good, but luckily they put it in a protective case. So if I can get it out. Oh, stamp. Came out the case. Alright. Maybe it was never in the case. But, so, other than a Laker fan, I am a Miami Heat fan. And this is from when Bam Adebayo, Bam Adebayo, when he scored 83 points earlier and in the season, towards the end of the season. And this is the commemorative Slam cover. And I used to collect these. I used to always have like every edition of Slam. I still got all my Shaqs, all my Kobe's, most of the Lakers stuff. Don't really have a whole lot of LeBron stuff, which is surprising, as big as a LeBron fan I am. But pick this up, and I am probably going to, I don't know if I'm going to get it slab. I don't know if I'm going to get it slabbed or if I'm just going to frame it. But yeah, I was super happy to pick this up. Sold out. This is one of the editions that you're not going to be able to get unless you go aftermarket and the value is going up. So I picked this one up too to go with some of the basketball stuff I collect. So yeah, they sent me a protective cover to put it in, which is cool. So in the meantime, but yeah, that's some of the stuff that I picked up. I'm also diving into collecting like old Ebony magazines and Jet magazines, stuff like that, because eventually, I want to have a collection where it's not just comics, but it's some iconic magazines as well, some historical magazines. So that's all. I want my collection to grow a little bit. But that's the comic book stuff that I picked up. It's crazy. This book keeps catching my eye. This is Nectar, and don't know too much about it, but I know I have number 1, and I picked up this variant cover as well. So if anybody is reading that, y'all let me know what's the hoopla about it, why there's such a low buzz, and tell me what's going on with it. I'm gonna read it eventually. It's in my box of books to read, so we'll check that out. Anyway, before my battery dies, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, this quick little chat that we've had, and it's been a good night for you guys. And like I say, like, comment, subscribe, hit me up. And with that, I am gonna take my ass to bed and get ready for work tomorrow. I got titles. I got titles to deal with. So yeah. Anyway, it's your man Jay. This is Evolutionary Comics, and as always, continue to evolve. We out. Peace.